Recently, I had a chance to train at Pancrase Gym, an MMA gym run by Omar Bouiche, who's been traveling the world and training with some of the best experts out there, and now is coaching some of the best fighters himself. I was brought here by my friend Oliver Encom, a professional MMA fighter who introduced me to Omar. And after the training, the three of us sat down to discuss what it takes to become an exceptional fighter, the difference between talent and hard work, and more. Oliver told me a lot about you, that you traveled around the globe, trained at various places. You fought professionally for a long time. So you have a lot of experience. And one of the questions I like to ask people who have that experience, you, I'm sure, are an incredible fighter, and you met some incredible fighters. What do you think makes a difference between somebody who's exceptional and somebody who never gets to that level? Like, there are some names we all know. And we're familiar and we know about these people, but some, like, I think everybody trains hard, but for some reason some people just do something different. So what do you think?
Some people just have it. I mean, just like that. And some people are a bit crazy. You need to be a bit crazy to be a fighter. I mean, you need to have something. I mean, like GSP was really afraid of fighting. That's what he was fighting for. Some people likes to fight, like this guy over there. So it depends a little bit. So I don't know. That's a really hard question. I think it differs.
What do you think from, like, when you're coaching fighters, what do you think makes a good student?
Somebody should listen and have a beginner mind, 100% beginner mind. So if you don't have, you're going to lose yourself on the way, on the journey somewhere, 100%.
So, for example, I want to learn as much as I can, as fast as I can. What would be your advice to, like, a beginner?
For MMA?
Yeah.
Wrestling, boxing, that's a basic you need. You need kicking, stuff like that. But if you don't have the wrestling or you don't have the boxing basics, you're not going to be able to fight MMA.
Would you say, it seems to me that wrestling is becoming more and more acknowledged these days.
Yeah.
Like, would you say that was more neglected in the past and now people are discovering that that's actually
But for me, I mean, judo is wrestling, sambo is wrestling, jiu-jitsu is wrestling, Greco-Roman is wrestling, freestyle is wrestling. It's all the same, actually. But it's like different variation of it. So I mean, the wrestling is so important. I mean, I think it's the oldest sport we have. I think wrestling,
True. Why do you think it's necessarily like such an important part for MMA? Like, what makes it stand out compared to, like you mentioned, wrestling and boxing, and BJJ, for example, wasn't mentioned. So what do you think is the difference?
I think you need to just with the wrestling, you need, what you do with that, you can control where the fight is going to go. I'm going to take you down, I'm going to push you against the cage. You have to take action against my stuff. I change the level, you have to react. And it's not the same for the wrestler. I mean, if he just throws jab, the wrestler can just shoot. So you need to have that level change, and that's kind of what dominates in fighting. Footwork and level changes.
One more question, which is very interesting for me to ask, because you have some exceptional fighters yourself. Again, Oliver said you're an amazing coach, and I witnessed that myself. When somebody comes in to train with you, is it visible from the start that, like, okay, this person is probably going to go very far, versus the other way around, or sometimes, or do you fighters surprise you often? Like, how is it?
More, I get surprised more often. In the beginning, I was like looking at people who were like physically gifted. I was like, this guy's gonna be good. But usually it's those guys in the corner who like just train and train and train. Those are guys who all usually succeed and excel, actually.
So would you say talent, like hard work beats talent?
Yeah. 100%, 100%. I've seen so many guys come down, talent, they have like body like, I don't know, like bone like, Greek gods or something like that. And something's missing, something's just missing. Maybe it's too easy for them too.
Right.
It can be that too, actually.
I keep thinking about that myself. Well, first of all, I'm an 0-1 fighter.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I had one fight, I lost it.
Yeah, but that's good. Fighting is difficult, even if you lose or win. I mean, it takes balls.
I think so. Now that I look back, then I didn't think so much about it. I was like, I did it, and now I look back and I'm like, oh yeah.
How did you feel?
Sorry?
How did you feel first time?
It was, I was very focused. Like, a lot of people asked me if I'm afraid. And I was like, I wasn't really afraid, which was almost surprising to me, but I was just super focused. But then I thought that will make me sure that I will win. But I lost. And now I was telling Oliver about this as well. Like, now I'm slowly setting up for my second fight.
Cool.
And I feel there's fear.
That's good. It's really good. You need it. You need it. That's the fuel.
Because I had this thought, and already we also spoke a little bit about GSP, him being afraid. Because I thought that if I'm afraid before a fight, that means I will lose. Like
no. Everybody's afraid, I think, before a fight. So.
Okay. So it's a normal thing.
Yeah, it's a normal thing. You need to use it because if you get too afraid, of course you're going to burn out and be scared and you get tense. But you need that kind of push and that you feel alive, right? When you're scared, you feel like everything is.
Right.
You can see everything, hear everything. That's what you need. So it's really important.
Okay, so I shouldn't be afraid that I'm afraid.
No. so just accept it. That's the way. That's a part of the game. You need to embrace it a little bit. It's harder, but you need to do it. It's good for you even in life.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's encouraging. And I also thought like, just the fact like, in my experience, my first fight was a loss, and I heard like there's some other people who also lost at the beginning, and that was almost like a fuel.
Yeah.
Like they almost became better because of it. Like Oliver apparently, like that's his story. Would you say that's?
I see a lot of fighters like they lose like 5, even 6 or 7 fights, and they go, "Oh, I'm never going to be," and just excel after that. So I think the first 10 fights, I'm an amateur fighter, doesn't mean anything. It's just a learning curve. After that, if you want to be a pro, that's different. But I think the first 10 fights is just like you just feel the mat, you feel the ring, whatever you're fighting in. It's going to take a while. I think like 1 to 10 fights, something like that. You need.
I don't think it. I don't know if like my next question if it's smart or not, but I'm wondering, is it a good approach to, especially like the first amateur fights, to not focus too much on winning? Like obviously I'm not focusing on losing either.
Yeah.
But I think for the first fight I was so eager to win, and I almost feel like that got in my way versus just doing a good job.
Just do your thing. I mean, just you do stuff in training. Try to do it in the fight.
Right.
That's it. I mean, you're going to fight either way. You're going to be afraid. You're going to have all. You want to win, of course. Nobody's going to win and just lay down and get knocked out. So you're going to. That's natural. So just go and do your thing. You just have to find your own flow, your own rhythm, all that stuff. It's very important.
And one more quick question about the MMA fighters. So Oliver mentioned I had a Aikido background.
Yeah.
And if you'll ever see a picture of me, I was like, had a ponytail.
That's kind of cool, though.
It was cool for that time.
Looked like a skinny Steven Seagal.
Oh,
Yeah, like I was a skinny Steven Seagal, and I was very peaceful, and that's how I was taught, and it was kind of my personality. And a lot of people thought that I can never become a fighter because I was peaceful, and I still kind of am.
Yeah.
I'm fairly competitive, I think, but I'm not like this aggressive.
Going around the
I want to kill everyone, whatever.
chip on the shoulder or something
Right.
like that.
But then a lot of people think that if you're not aggressive, then you can't be a good fighter.
No, that's just stupid. No. Look at somebody like Machida. Look at him. Same time, he's not aggressive at all. He's a really calm guy. So I mean.
Well, when I first saw him, I probably saw you both, but we still didn't know each other. It was in London, right? I think.
I don't know.
Your midnight fight.
Yeah.
The one you had to wait.
You didn't join that one, I think.
No, I don't think he joined that one.
okay.
No, I wasn't there.
That was a short notice. That was good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good job, man.
Because I saw him sitting there. We didn't know, and I was like, this guy is scary. And then I got to know him. He's like, such a nice guy. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, you never know.
It's the samurai have this approach, humble but ruthless.
Yeah.
Right.
So you have a switch, and you flip the switch, you become another person.
Yeah.
So for example, my mom or someone like my girlfriend, they wouldn't recognize me in the locker room before a fight.
Right.
They wouldn't.
Yeah,
know
you
that's
switch
me.
something happens. Yeah.
You see it in the eyes and everything.
Yeah, something
so
happens.
you gotta have two sides.
Yeah.
You bring the
And I think everybody has that. The
Yeah.
demon and the
yeah.
angel. I think everybody got it.
Just takes time
Yeah.
to control it
Yeah.
and take
And
it
don't
out on
feed
will.
one on too much.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Get a balance in life, I think.
And it's okay if I could ask just a couple more questions?
Yeah, sure.
One more thing I'm interested in. So, during your travels and training in different countries, different places, what would you say is, and this may be like a difficult question, but hopefully maybe there's an answer there. What would you say is like your main discovery or main lesson from all that?
Wow. Thank you. First of all martial arts are really alike. I mean, you get a common denominator in most martial arts. Maybe not like a system or something like that, but if you see even Aikido, Judo, wrestling, you can see it's the same, almost same movement, same rhythm. When I started, I was like, this is like Judo is like this, wrestling, it's almost the same, almost. And you realize after you're doing a martial art for like 50 years, it's like everything's the same. Punch is a punch, kick is a kick, throw is a throw. So it's not. So it goes from like really mystical to something easy, at the same time really hard to excel in.
I'm I mean, the body works the same in
Yeah,
all
yeah,
martial
yeah,
arts.
yeah.
It's
So-
two arms and
yeah.
arms, right?
Yeah, you go out, Wing Chun hits like that, and they hit like that, and after a while you realize, oh, just some arms going forward, just relax. And
Principles.
yeah, principles, yeah, right.
Because it makes sense, because when I was asking Oliver, so we were here on
Yeah.
Wednesday, and we're planning to come here on Friday, and asked, so what's on Friday? He's like, well, maybe it's going to be a bit more grappling, but it's like, it's going to be the same. It's not like, no, Friday
It's the
is
same.
striking.
Yeah,
and
it's the same, It's just a mix of everything, and like high percentage techniques and high percentage position, and you work a lot of that. Position you don't like to be in, like the head and arm, like we did today. Nobody likes to be stuck in the head in somebody's arms, but you need to be there, because in a fight you're going to be there. So I make everybody do the stuff that's not so fun, to speak.
That's what I'm really fascinated about as well, like the high percentage approach,
Yeah.
because I think especially in jiu-jitsu, it's very popular to just learn like this.
1,000
and learn-
techniques,
Right,
yeah.
So what are your thoughts on
But
that?
I come from more like judo and wrestling and boxing. That's like Olympic sports. You do the same thing all over again in series. You learn like this throw, and then you go to that throw, and you do it again, you do it again. And jiu-jitsu is a bit more like surfing. You go, you flow a little bit. It's fun though. But I think to be really good, you need to repeat again. Just like a good boxing. Do the jab 1,000 times and do 1,000 times again, 1,000 times again. So it's not like secrets. It's just you have to work and understand what you're doing.
And last couple questions. I learned that you do sword work.
Yeah.
Full contact.
Yeah.
Do you find any like places where what you do here and what you do with the sword?
A lot, actually. My defense was much better when I started doing knife fighting and sticks, because with a stick, you have to move. You cannot like block something, you have to move. And it makes me realize, even in fighting, you need more defense. The defense is the big thing. If you don't have a defense, you have nothing. So, and I do a lot of defense in my training. So that's from the weapon systems, the mindset. Because if you can't defend yourself with a weapon, you're going to get cut. So it's like it's not forgiving when you do it with a bladed weapon. And I take that approach to my MMA. I don't want to get hit. I don't want to get submitted. I want to stand up. So a lot of defense.
Yeah, that makes sense, because like when you just said it, it dawned on me that like in striking, if you miss a jab or so, it's like part of it. Like you can't expect to not get missed. But with swords, it's like
You're fucked.
Yeah, it's like better not.
Even when you fight with a stick, you get hit with a stick, you realize if this is from real and it's a bladed weapon, you're gone. You cannot be tough. I'm going to take this in my head and I'm going to go walk through. That's not going to work.
It's not like in the movies where they
And you get scared when you get a heavy weapon in your hand. You go, oh, even if it's not sharp, it's still, it's going to hit you in the head, you're going to get groggy. And you get scared, and that's good, because you have to move.
So. And what's your perspective about traditional martial arts?
I like traditional martial arts. I really do. Everybody asks me, people are looking at me like this, and I really do. I like the beauty of it, and I like the respect, and I like tradition and history of it too. MMA wouldn't be here if it wasn't for karate, judo, jiu-jitsu, you name it. Boxing, wrestling, that's the traditional martial arts. So I see like this, what do you call it, förlängning?
The extension.
Extension, of all martial arts. That's MMA, I think.
I have just two more questions.
Yeah.
So when you were traveling, training, was there any time a switch where you felt like, because I'm still in the process where like pretty much everything is new. Like
Okay.
When some things are familiar, I'm like, oh, I at least have some sense of it. A lot of things are like, oh, this is new and this is new and this is new. Was there for you a switch where you're like, things clicked and from there on things changed, or was it always like?
No, just small. I clicked and I just clicked again. It's like when I met Rickson Gracie the first time, I was like, oh man, you don't need to be strong to be a good wrestler. Damn. So it was like switched like that. And I met some really good boxer, a Russian boxer, and I was like, this guy's so skinny, hits so hard. God, it's just gotta have to be technique. So stuff like that. And I'm doing some Russians, Thai boxers too. Same with them. They were so technical. I said, okay, maybe not need to just go power, stuff like that. So a lot of those aha moments in my life, so in martial art.
So I guess it sounds like the discoveries were going more from kind of, I can't find the right words, but I guess like from using power, more moving towards technique.
The same way I was in Thailand, we did like clinching with the best, like Thailand. It was like, this is like Greco-Roman wrestling. This is like judo. This is the same thing. I've got the feeling, so it's hard to explain, but you get like aha moment all the time, I think. Even now I get to watch my students do so. Oh, maybe you can do this like this. It's a better way to do it. Okay, wow, this is good. So I think you need, even somebody like a coach, you need to have the beginner's mind. I think all the time. It's all something to learn. I think.
I mentioned Rickson Gracie, and I'm a big fan of him because from what I know, he's the person who's like, he's not about new techniques, it's about...
No, just basic.
Right.
I remember we had like a class in just like a scissor sweep, just
Right.
an easy basic one.
Right.
I was like, oh my God, we'll
I
do
know
this in
this,
45 minutes. I was like, and that was the best class I ever was. It was like,
Right.
you do like this. And
Right.
it was like just make you understand the technique. So, it was beautiful. Yeah.
And I believe, you wanted to add something?
No.
Okay, sorry, I just feel like it. So I believe this is my last question. Usually I bumped into the problem of overtraining.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for...
Don't overtrain. Easy.
Right.
No, you need to be happy all the time because if you train, you get like sore and you get, like whatever.
Depressed
Whatever. Then you train too much. You need to have it's fun to do it because that's why you're doing it. If it's not fun, why are you doing it? Because martial arts, that's tough.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
It's a good
A
point.
happy fighter is a dangerous fighter.
Yeah,
that's a good
exactly.
phrase.
You just take like a week off and have fun with it, and just don't try to be better every day. At least 1%. If you be 1% better every day, instead of 100% better every day, just be 1%. This time, 1%, 1%. Just have fun with it.
And that 1% can be for some day you go to the sauna to recover.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
training.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
People always
Exactly.
think you need to train to get
Yeah.
better, but you have one body, you need to take care of it.
Yeah.
Too, right?
That makes sense. Because now that you mention it, I think that's where the overtraining, those days are like where I'm like,
Just do something else. Just have fun. Yeah. You need to have fun with it.
Okay, I'll keep asking myself, am I going to have fun today?
Yeah.
Do I feel having fun? And Oliver, is there anything else you wanted to add or ask, or think it's good? Okay.
You still do the Aikido?
So actually now it's an interesting moment because so I got disillusioned by
Yeah.
Aikido. I knew that it doesn't work so well, but I became known because I said, you know what, a lot of people think it works well, I think it doesn't work well, and I asked an MMA fighter to spar with me, but I
okay.
never sparred, and it's on video.
Yeah.
And he destroys me completely. And then that made me go through the journey of asking, okay, so maybe how do I make my Aikido work? But back then what I didn't realize, I didn't have any basics. Like I didn't have any proper footwork, I wasn't used to getting punched. And I tried for half a year to make my Aikido work, but I had no roots, like effective roots. So then I quit Aikido entirely. I started training MMA and kickboxing and jiu-jitsu, and about 2 years passed. And now is just like, specifically now is the time where I'm like, we were actually...
Rediscovering.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
Principles. Like
Yeah, the principle. Yeah.
Right, we were doing that yesterday, I think. Like, I dressed up with my Aikido outfit again, just for the sake of fun. And I was saying, okay, so in Aikido, they're saying that you should like blend. Like, how do you blend in your MMA fighting? Or how do you like redirect? And now when Oliver told me, is because back then I had a lot of like people who have experience, they told me like, oh, like do this, do that. But I'm like, I didn't understand what they're talking about. And now I'm like, yeah, I can see the potential behind it. So it's really interesting. But I don't train. Yeah, sorry.
We could find like all the Aikido principles in what we
Yeah,
do.
yeah, 100%.
So here's like
especially the
sushi.
clinch. Yeah.
Off balance. You need to off balance before
exactly,
you take someone
exactly.
down. And you know.
And using his power, he's pushing you like throw him. Something. It's
Yeah.
same. Principles are the same.
Yeah. So probably not today, but if anytime in the future, like we could look together as well.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That'd be really interesting.
Sure.
to see your perspective.
Yeah. Sure.
That'd be awesome.
We can do that.
Awesome. Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Cool. Thank you.